Hello, I'm Sherry Hammond, and this is the Center of Light YouTube channel. Today's topic I wanted to talk about is called Rising Above Contrast. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and I just think it's amazing how we as human beings tend to create things so that we can move forward in life. We create drama sometimes, or we create a need somewhere so that we may move beyond it, so that we can evolve, or we can move forward with something. So, for example, I know that when I wanted to buy my next house, one of the interesting things that I noticed was that people would ask me, well, what was wrong with my old house? And I remember going through this process in my head about trying to figure out, well, what was wrong with my house, and why did I want to leave? And the reality was, there was nothing wrong with my old house. It was wonderful. I loved it. I loved my neighbors. I loved my home. I loved my cul-de-sac. I loved everything about it. But I wanted to have a different experience. I wanted a different house. I wanted to live somewhere different. I wanted more land. I wanted a different experience, just plain and simply. I wanted a different experience. But I found it very fascinating that people kept wondering what was wrong with, like why I wanted to leave a current situation, that there must be something wrong with it. And that's just simply not true. And I do remember, even in my own head, trying to find things that were wrong with it. And I saw that even as a business owner. I watched that happen when somebody had outgrown my business and they wanted to move on into a different, whether it be a different industry or a different salon, or they wanted to do something different. They oftentimes looked around the space and started to point out things that were wrong with it, or wrong with this person, or wrong with this thing, or just plain old wrong, so that they could feel free enough to move beyond it. And I find that to be a fascinating observation, not only in people outside of me, but also in myself. I started to realize that, like, in certain areas of my life, I create a need, that there must be this need so that I can move forth into some bigger, a more expanded version of myself. And I'm realizing that when we don't have that contrast, when we don't have that something's wrong back there and that's why I need to move forward, that sometimes, I'll speak for myself, I know that I'm challenged by moving forward. If there's no reason why I should move forward in a certain direction, I tend to either, one, not move forward, or wait for there to be something wrong or something that needs changing for whatever reason in order to move forward, or I cause something to happen, or not necessarily to be wrong, but I just cause some circumstance so that I move forward. So in that, I'm recognizing that there are many times that those of us, particularly on the spiritual path, we talk about duality a lot. We talk about the black, white of it, the right, wrong of it. And we're always trying to kind of move past that so that we, as evolved human beings, we can live from a higher place. So in that same vein, I'm realizing that I would like to cause from nothing, not because of something to move forward, but to be cause for a new experience. So in that, I realize that there's so much fear there. And it's the fear of the unknown, that you're not actually doing something because there was something wrong with something back here, but you're actually just stating, making a declaration, claiming something for yourself for no other reason other than you want to. And there's something really magical about that moment, because what we must look at is, one, do we give ourselves permission to just want to, for no other reason other than we want to? We are here to be creators. That's what we do. We create our lives. We create things. That's what we do. So why is it so scary to look at a blank canvas, to look at a blank page, to have the world be our oyster? Why is that? And I asked myself that very question, and I realized for myself that it was a matter of responsibility. Like, whoa, then that would mean that if I were cause, for just stating a desire that I wanted and then going after it, that then I would need to be responsible for the manifestation. I would need to be responsible for whatever it was that it caused out there. So I looked at my own life and I started to look at what I really, really want. And I made a list. I wrote them down. What are the things that I really, really want? And then what could I cause by doing those things or having those things? And then once I realized that I wanted would not cause any harm to anyone, in fact, it may actually add value to other people's lives, then there's absolutely no reason that we shouldn't just go for it. There's no reason. We don't need to cause any pain, any circumstances. We don't need to make anyone or anything wrong just to choose a different experience. So today, I invite all of us to take the step into the absolute unknown, but in the direction of our dreams, one tiny step at a time.